It is said that a simple prayer, made with faith and sincerity, has the power to change your life. There is a particular moment, 3 a.m., that many believe to be a sacred hour, a time when the heavens are open and God's protection is most profoundly felt. The Bible speaks of spiritual warfare, of unseen forces that we must guard ourselves against. But in this hour, when the world is still, a prayer can form a powerful shield around us. It is a time when our hearts can pour out to God, seeking refuge, healing, and divine protection. When you wake up at 3 a.m., I urge you to pray this prayer faithfully from the deepest place of your heart. Declare that God is your refuge, your fortress in times of trouble. As you pray, recognize that His sovereignty over all creation is far greater than any battle or challenge you may face. In this prayer, ask for His divine intervention over your life, your loved ones, your health, your finances, and your dreams. Command any evil force, any curse, or bondage to be broken in the name of Jesus, and claim the freedom that Jesus' sacrifice on the cross has already made possible for you. Acknowledge the generational curses that may have held your family captive, and declare that they are broken, no longer able to hold you or your loved ones in bondage. Surrender all bitterness, resentment, and unforgiveness to God, allowing His healing touch to restore relationships and bring reconciliation where there has been division. Pray for your mind, that it may be protected from anxiety, fear, and depression, and that the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, would guard your heart and thoughts. Declare your body as the temple of the Holy Spirit, rebuking any sickness or infirmity that has attacked it, and believe that by His stripes you are healed. In your prayer, ask God to provide abundantly, to break the spirit of poverty and lack, and release His spirit of prosperity over your life. Seek His wisdom and discernment as you make decisions, asking for guidance in your relationships, your work, and your spiritual walk. Pray for divine protection over your family and loved ones, for God's angels to encamp around them, guarding them from harm. As you pray, ask God to empower you to walk in your purpose, to fulfill the dreams He has placed in your heart, and to overcome every obstacle that would try to hinder you. The 3 a.m. prayer is not just a time to seek protection, but to align yourself with God's will, to declare His promises over your life, and to stand firm in His truth. It is a time to be equipped with the spiritual armor He has provided: truth, righteousness, peace, faith, salvation, and the word of the Spirit. This prayer is not just words. It is a declaration of trust and faith in the Almighty, knowing that He hears every word and responds with love and power. For 7 days, commit to this prayer and expect miracles to unfold in your life. 7 is a significant number in God's kingdom, representing completion and divine fulfillment. As you faithfully pray, believe that God will complete His work in you, and you will experience breakthroughs like never before. After praying, leave an amen in the comments to declare your faith and claim the blessings of the prayer. Know that this sacred time is a divine opportunity to connect with God, receive His protection, and step into a new season of His grace and provision. As you rise at 3 a.m., a quiet peace will settle over you. This is a time when the noise of the world fades away, and you are able to hear the still, small voice of God speaking to you. It is in these sacred moments that you can hear His whispers of love, encouragement, and guidance. The battle for your mind, your spirit, and your life takes place in the unseen realm, but in the stillness of this hour, your prayers become a mighty weapon. As you speak the words of the prayer, feel the power of God's presence enveloping you. Know that He is surrounding you with His divine protection, shielding you from harm, and allowing no weapon formed against you to prosper. His promises are sure, and in this time of prayer, you are standing on the firm foundation of His word. As you declare that His sovereignty reigns over every area of your life, believe that He is working on your behalf, moving in ways you cannot yet see but will soon witness. Every prayer you pray in faith is a seed planted, and in due time, it will bear fruit. As you lay your heart before Him, let go of every fear, every worry, and every concern. Trust that God is in control and that He is orchestrating everything for your good. His love for you is boundless, and He longs to see you walk in victory. The challenges you face may seem overwhelming at times, but in the presence of God, they lose their power. As you command every evil force to flee, feel the weight of oppression lift, replaced by the peace that only God can provide. Remember that His angels are encamped around you, guarding you from all harm. No matter what storm you face, His protection will keep you steady. This prayer is more than just words. It is a declaration of your faith in the one who is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all that you ask or think. With every prayer, you are making a bold statement that you trust in God's provision, His healing, and His deliverance. The victory is already won, and you are simply stepping into it. As you continue this journey of prayer, expect to see miracles unfold. Your life will be marked by His grace, His favor, and His provision. He will open doors for you that no man can close, and He will lead you into places of abundance and peace. Keep praying, keep believing, and know that with each prayer, you are aligning yourself more and more with God's will for your life. Step boldly into this divine time of connection and watch as He brings His promises to pass in your life. The 3 a.m. prayer is a sacred invitation to experience God's power, His protection, and His presence in ways you have never known. This is your time to rise, to declare victory, and to walk in the fullness of His promises. Trust in His faithfulness, and be expectant of the miracles He is bringing into your life. As you rise at 3 a.m., the silence around you feels sacred, as if the entire universe is waiting for you to acknowledge the presence of the divine. In this stillness, you are not alone. You feel a closeness to God, a deep intimacy that stirs your soul. Your mind, which often races with worries and distractions, becomes calm, and the world outside seems distant, insignificant in the face of His power and presence. This sacred hour allows you to connect with God on a level that goes beyond the ordinary. His voice is clear, His direction is precise, and His love overwhelms you. As you pray, you feel a strong sense of His sovereignty over every circumstance in your life. The troubles that seemed insurmountable yesterday now appear small in His sight. Your prayers, spoken with faith, become a force of divine authority, commanding peace, healing, and protection into every area of your life. The worries that once felt heavy on your heart begin to fade, and you trust that God is working on your behalf, orchestrating events, moving mountains, and making a way where there seems to be none. With every word of the prayer, you declare your confidence in God's ability to bring about His promises. His power is limitless, and in this moment, you feel it moving within you. You begin to speak victory over your life. Victory over fear, over sickness, over the struggles that have held you captive for so long. As you declare your faith, the darkness around you begins to dissipate, and the light of God's presence fills every corner of your heart. His protection is tangible, like a shield surrounding you, preventing any harm from coming near. His angels, sent on assignment, guard you from every danger. The weight of oppression lifts, and you are free to walk in peace. As you surrender your anxieties and concerns to Him, you are reminded that He is in control. You don't need to carry the burden alone. His love is more than enough to carry you through every trial, every tribulation. You feel His peace settle deep within your spirit, and with it comes a renewed sense of purpose. The path ahead may be uncertain, but you know that God's guidance will never fail you. He will lead you, step by step, into the fullness of His promises. As you continue in prayer, you feel the peace of His presence, the joy that comes from knowing that He is faithful and true. You begin to believe with all your heart that every prayer you've prayed is being answered, even when you cannot see the results. Your trust in Him grows, and you find yourself walking with more confidence, knowing that nothing is impossible with God. Each day that you rise at 3 a.m. to pray, you feel His strength renewing you. The more you seek Him, the more you find that He is always faithful, always present, and always working in your favor. You see the miracles unfold, both big and small, and you give thanks for His abundant grace and provision. The 3 a.m. prayer is no longer just a moment of spiritual connection. It becomes a powerful part of your daily life, an anchor that keeps you grounded in His love, His promises, and His purpose for your life. As you continue to pray and believe, You know that you are walking in alignment with God's will, and that every step you take is one closer to the abundant life He has prepared for you. Keep rising, keep praying, and keep trusting, for your God is faithful, and He will bring His promises to pass in your life. In the quiet hours of the morning, as the world sleeps and the stars watch over you, you begin to sense a deeper awareness of God's presence in every corner of your life. With each prayer, you realize that this sacred time is not only about seeking protection or guidance, but about aligning your heart with the very will of the Creator. As you continue to rise at 3 a.m., the stillness becomes a canvas upon which God paints His plans for you. The anxieties that once dominated your thoughts fade into the background, replaced by a profound peace that comes from knowing that God is in control of every detail of your life. The battles you face seem less overwhelming when you surrender them to Him, for you are not fighting alone. His power, which is greater than anything you can imagine, is at work on your behalf, fighting the battles you cannot see. In the stillness, you become more attuned to His voice, and the guidance He provides becomes clearer with each passing day. It is as if the fog that once clouded your vision has lifted, and you can now see His path before you with newfound clarity. You begin to walk with more confidence, knowing that God is leading you step by step toward the destiny He has planned for you. Each prayer, spoken in faith, builds a foundation of trust, and with that trust comes a deeper intimacy with the Creator. You begin to sense His heart for you in a way you never have before. It is as if, in the quiet hours of the morning, God is not just answering your prayers, but revealing Himself to you in ways that words cannot fully capture. His love for you is immeasurable, and His faithfulness is unwavering. As you stand in His presence, you are reminded that you are His beloved child, and He is watching over you with tender care. You are never alone in your struggles, and the weight of life's challenges becomes lighter when you entrust them to Him. His grace, like a river, flows over you, washing away every fear, every worry, every uncertainty. In these sacred moments, you feel as though you are stepping into a place where time stands still, and all that matters is the connection between you and God. The world may continue on with its noise and distractions, but in the quiet of your soul, you are at peace. You are exactly where you are meant to be, walking in the path He has set for you. With each new day, your faith grows stronger, and the promises of God become more real to you. You begin to see His hand at work in your life, transforming situations, healing wounds, and opening doors that seemed closed. Your heart is full of gratitude for the many blessings He has already bestowed upon you, and you trust that even greater things are on the horizon. As you continue this journey, you find yourself not only seeking God's protection, but also desiring to be a vessel of His love and peace in the world around you. You know that the peace you receive in the quiet hours of prayer is not meant to be kept to yourself, but to be shared with others. As you rise in the early morning hours, you are not just praying for yourself, but for those around you, for your family, your friends, and even for those you have yet to meet. You pray for their protection, their healing, and their peace, knowing that God hears every word. The power of prayer, fueled by faith and love, becomes a powerful force, breaking down barriers and bringing light to the darkest places. You are becoming a part of something bigger than yourself, a movement of love, peace, and transformation that extends beyond your own life and into the world. And so, as you continue to rise at 3 a.m., you begin to see the world through new eyes. Your heart is open to God's leading, and you trust that He is guiding you toward a future filled with hope, purpose, and fulfillment. You are not just a participant in your own life. You are an active participant in the kingdom of God, walking in the fullness of His power and His love. With each prayer, you are planting seeds of faith, and with each step you take, you are walking closer to the divine destiny He has prepared for you. The journey is not always easy, but you are never alone. You are wrapped in God's love, His protection, and His guidance. And in that truth, you find the strength to keep moving forward, knowing that every prayer, every step, brings you closer to the life He has promised you. As you continue to rise each morning at 3 a.m., you begin to notice subtle changes in your life, changes that reflect the power of those quiet moments spent in prayer. The burdens that once felt heavy now seem lighter, and the fears that once gripped your heart begin to lose their hold. Each prayer you offer strengthens your spirit, and the weight of the world's distractions becomes less consuming. You are learning to walk with an inner peace that surpasses understanding, a peace that only God can provide. It's as if your heart is being tuned to the rhythm of His love, and with each passing day, you grow more attuned to His voice. The stillness of the morning no longer feels like silence, but a sacred space where you can hear the whispers of God, guiding you, comforting you, and reminding you that He is with you every step of the way. Your faith begins to grow in ways you never imagined, and you start to see things through a new lens. The struggles you once viewed as obstacles are now opportunities for God to display His power and faithfulness. You begin to see challenges as invitations to trust Him more, to lean into His strength when your own falls short. With every prayer, you are stepping further into the fullness of God's promises. You start to understand that it's not about the perfection of your prayers, but the sincerity and faith behind them. It's not about having all the answers, but trusting in the One who knows all. As you continue this journey, you begin to notice God's presence not just in the quiet hours of the morning, but in every moment of your day. Whether it's a kind word from a stranger, a beautiful sunset, or a quiet moment with loved ones, you feel His hand gently guiding you. You realize that God's love is not confined to the early hours of the morning, but is woven into every moment of your life, every experience, and every relationship. You begin to see His fingerprints all around you, and with that realization comes a deep sense of gratitude. The peace that you once sought only in the early morning hours begins to flow into your daily life, and you find yourself more patient, more loving, and more aware of His presence in everything you do. The prayers you prayed at 3 a.m. are now bearing fruit, not only in your own life, but in the lives of those around you. You start to see changes in your relationships, in your work, and in your health. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open, and opportunities arise where there were none before. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail for your good. And as you continue to walk in faith, you realize that the power of the 3 a.m. prayer is not just in the words you speak, but in the heart of surrender that accompanies them. You are learning to surrender your will to God, to trust that His plans for you are far greater than anything you could imagine. It's not always easy, but with each step of obedience, you feel the weight of your burdens lifting. You are learning to trust in His timing, knowing that He is working all things together for your good. The more you pray, the more you are becoming the person God has called you to be. You are becoming a vessel of His love, His peace, and His strength. And with each passing day, you grow more confident in His promises, more certain of His faithfulness, and more assured of His presence in your life. The journey is far from over, but with each prayer, you take another step closer to the life God has designed for you. A life filled with purpose, peace, and the unshakable assurance that no matter what happens, God is with you, guiding you, and holding you in His love. And so, you continue to rise at 3 a.m., not out of obligation, but out of a deep desire to meet with God in that sacred space. With every prayer, you are drawing closer to Him, and in return, He is drawing closer to you. You are walking in the fullness of His promises, and the future ahead of you is filled with hope, joy, and an abundance of blessings.